The day after Labor Day, the U.S. Attorney General announced that the executive branch was canceling an Obama administration initiative called the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA for short. This change comes in the context of angry conversations around immigration to the United States, and at Feel Like You Belong, we needed to weigh in with some data and a calm voice. To first understand the context, this continent has a 500-year history of immigration, which started with Western Europeans. As more Europeans heard about the abundance of fertile land and great opportunity, they left their homes and extended families to try their luck as immigrants to North America. Over the following centuries, word got out across the globe, and adventurous people from other countries took a gamble and journeyed to this new world as well. Very often, the newcomers were not well accepted. Workers from China were welcome only to build the great transcontinental railroad. But as soon as that work was done, Congress passed a law excluding more Chinese from coming because they didn't want this country becoming less white and European looking. The earliest settlers were from England. They were Protestant Christians, so the Puritan culture was especially pronounced in the early years. Later then, when victims of the great Irish potato famine started coming over, there were strident citizen voices against those papists, as they were called, followers of the Catholic Pope. Signs went up in businesses, "No Irish need apply" for jobs there. If you fast forward to today, we have removed the anti-Chinese legislation, and thankfully so, given all that Chinese immigrants have contributed to American business and academic life. Likewise, John F. Kennedy, a Roman Catholic, was elected president, and we no longer hear people being barred from jobs because they are Irish or Catholic. They are now mainstream Americans. Let's see how this history applies today. The young children who came to the United States, along with their undocumented parents, were promised by President Obama that they could stay in the country to continue their education and their lives. They were eligible for the DACA program if they arrived by age 15 and had lived in the country since 2007. DACA allows them to get driver's licenses, which allows them to go to work or to school, like all other residents their age. In short, it allows them to come out of living in the shadows and to participate in their local communities. Under the new executive order, that protection will disappear in 6 months. This means they could be deported to countries they hardly know. What do we know about the recipients of DACA, who are also called dreamers? There are roughly 800,000 dreamers who are affected. They serve in all facets of American life, working in the military, in schools, in nursing homes, and a myriad other places that benefit your neighbors and family and community. They often have part-time jobs to pay for school tuition and support their families. They pay taxes, and they contribute to the national economy. They do not take away jobs from native-born Americans. According to Grand Rapids immigration attorney Susan Im, eliminating DACA could cost $433 billion in GDP over a decade and would reduce Social Security and Medicare tax contributions by $24.6 billion over that same period. Dreamers speak English as their most fluent language. They have lived most of their lives in the United States. They love the U.S. as their homeland. They're not trying to change American culture. They are pursuing the American dream as your grandparents and great-grandparents did. To educate yourself more about DACA, visit the government website given here. In summary, human beings have migrated globally for thousands of years. They have moved for all kinds of reasons, including drought and fire, floods and wars and hurricanes. Many moved for better opportunities. And though the first generations do not speak the new local language well, their children, like little sponges, soak up the nuances of conversation and culture as readily and eagerly as the offspring of families with multi-generation histories here. This is the very nature of our humanity. To upset the continuity of these bright dreams, in our view, is both short-sighted and mean-spirited. We urge our viewers to contact their national representatives today to put forward comprehensive immigration reform that will ensure access and the American dream for anyone willing to work for it.
And all of a sudden he looked at me and said, "Do you believe in God?" And I felt a little nervous. I thought, oh, where is this conversation going? But okay. I said, "I do." And then he said, "Are you a Christian?"